For more on this story, we can bring in our French politics editor, Marc Perelman. Marc, good to see you. Why is Laurent Wauquiez saying all this now?
Well, clearly because he is, as we just saw, campaigning for the top spot of the Conservative Party against the Interior Minister Bruno Retailleau. And he's doing this by attacking the Interior Minister on one of his core issues, the issue of immigration and what to do with immigrants that France wants to expel. This doesn't come out of the blue. This essentially comes after a face-off between France and Algeria. The Interior Minister has been very tough, saying Algeria is refusing to take back Algerians expelled by France. And he said this is a scandal. There was a whole face-off between France and Algeria. Now, both presidents have tried to calm the tempers, but Laurent Wauquiez is essentially saying, well, you're not able to kick people out to their native country, i.e. Algeria. Well, we have to find a solution then. Why not send them, if they don't want to go to Algeria, why don't we send them to Saint-Pierre-et-Miquelon? Very far away from France. It's cold. It's a desert, essentially, area. Obviously, we just saw the locals not happy about this. Why does he want to do this? Because it's part of France, but it's not part of the so-called Schengen space. So there is a possibility maybe to use this and still be a legal way of expelling people. But clearly, he's been criticized not only by the government, not only by the left, but even by the far right for saying, well, this is still France. I mean, you're not going to pretend to expel people by keeping them on French soil. They should be expelled properly to other countries or not. And so Laurent Wauquiez is clearly trying to play politics. He's been trying to essentially create a buzz around his name. He used this Saint-Pierre-et-Miquelon. It's working, but he's also being roundly criticized for an idea that seems to be really outlandish, and clearly it's not going to happen.
Because the Republican Party, yes, we know that they've been right-wing, moving further and further to the right, but this seems quite far right as of a policy proposal.
Well, clearly, Donald Trump comes to mind. We're seeing the Trump administration kicking people out of the U.S., sending them to El Salvador, to their native countries, not always respecting the rule of law, to say the least.
Defying court orders as well.
Exactly. And so this seems like a replica of what Trump is advocating. This would have never come to the mind of conservative leaders just a few years ago. But now clearly things have changed. And even what sounded totally out of the political specter for a conservative leader is now something they can advocate. And he's hoping that the militants will see him as tough. He doesn't really care if it works, if people are going to Saint-Pierre-et-Miquelon, but he wants to be seen as tough as possible. And the fact that he's been criticized by Marine Le Pen for this idea shows where we are right now. And clearly, the French have been shifting to the right, even to the far right. We'll see if it pays off for him to get the conservative leadership. But let's not forget that Bruno Retailleau himself, the interior minister, is pretty much to the right of the conservative party, and they are the only two candidates. So it tells you a lot where the conservatives are standing right now on many of those issues.
So we'll know more in a month. Thank you very much for that, Marc Perelman there.